Welcome back to shed more light on the efforts exerted in order to try to defuse the tense situation in both the Palestinian territories and Lebanon. We are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, our international relations expert. Thank you so much, Dr. Darwish, for being our guest for today.
Yeah, I really appreciate it to be joined. All great, and congratulations about the new upgrading for Nile TV International. And I believe it's always the Egypt sound international approach and overseas.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Appreciate it.
Doctor, to start with, what are the remaining obstacles in order to defuse the very tense situation in both the Palestinian territories and in Lebanon? And we do see the continuous violations from the Israeli side, both in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and in southern Lebanon.
What's going on in that file? It's I believe it's the ending of this file. Israel know well the date of the ending of this war. It's ending for the Netanyahu themselves, the ministry of Israel, the first minister of Israel. So he trying to cheating a little bit. He trying to continues and want to keep pushing this war to keep continuous to guarantee himself in the chair. And I believe it's we gone to the final of that file. Reference to what we see daily, what's happening from them against, of course, Lebanon, and what's happening in Gaza. And it's not becoming local files as being Egyptian pushing that. It's become international requirements file to the whole world to have peace area and stopping this districts and hard war from Israel, using day by day all type of against of international law and against also of the requirements of peacing related to the UN requirements.
Yes, indeed. So we have noticed since the start of the crisis in the Gaza Strip that the Israelis were targeting mainly civilians. They were targeting women and children as well. So how do you see here these flagrant violations of the international law and all the abuses which are still taking place in the West Bank in particular, and of course in southern Lebanon? Of
course, this is against all the international law and UN requirements and all the international agreement related to that to have action and violation related to free peoples and citizens and women and children. And what happening also yesterday, them had to clearing one of the city in Gaza also related to that. This is really particulars. This is really against all the international law. And I believe it's Arab Union and of course Egypt keeping pushing in that file to finalizing and ending this war today before tomorrow. And it's become international requirements that to stopping this war, because it's become very against to all the world, all the peace of the world. Of course, there is several communications with also Europe to pushing in those files to the United States, also to pushing Israel. And I believe there are several actions have been upgraded this couple of weeks delegated with President Trump and also Netanyahu against this war, against his actions without any needing for that war, that action that he's, I believe it is taking alone without any communicated or taking actions or supporting from the United States, for example.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, what are the main obstacles to achieve the lasting peace in the Middle East? And of course our demands are quite clear, is of course the two-state solution and the recognition of the 1967 borders with of course the East Jerusalem as the Palestinian capital. So what are the obstacles here hindering the solution that we need and which is and was recognized always by the international community?
All the international community and of course Egypt is working so hard in this file.
Indeed.
Our President Fattah Sisi and of course Dr. Badr Abdelati, I believe it's a hero man related to that file to communicate abroad in several communications regarding to that. And the solution, only one solution. The solution is the peace and stopping the war immediately. The solution and of course Israel, everybody knows that didn't want the peace. Israel want to continue from Israel dream, and everybody knows to complain, to completing regarding to increasing the destinations and the earth of Israel, and this is not happening. After what happening in Gaza, after what as you was been mentioned in your questions, that it's become an international community requirements to stopping war, to having the free, to getting back to the peace, and especially the Middle East is enough war for that.
Yes. What role here should be played by the neighboring countries? As you have kindly mentioned, Egypt is always playing a very important role in order to support our brothers in the Palestinian territories and in Lebanon. Yet, what role should be played by the other neighboring countries as well in order to try to defuse the tense situation and the very critical humanitarian condition inside the Palestinian territories in particular?
I believe it's a very important action to take decision, Arab and African, related to the all neighbors in the area, I mean from Arab countries to the African countries, that we didn't want this war to keeping run, and this was mentioned several times, but taking action, that taking also will stopping any related actions to Israel from commercial to financial and communicated or supporting any type of that related also to the logistics files, any supporting for Israel. And I believe they've found that, I believe it's immediately will stopping these actions and getting back to all the international agreement, reference to the international law and reference to the UN requirements. And I believe there must be having in action from all the neighbors and communicate as one man with Egypt regarding to this file to take action by Israel, because this is not accepted what's going on daily and related to all the humidity, all the whole world. This is not accepted.
Sir, also the situation in southern Lebanon is quite critical, and we have seen the Israelis are taking and violation of land is taking place as well, and the displacement of many people both in the Palestinian territories and in Lebanon due to the continuous aggression used by the Israelis against, of course, the peace agreements that was signed. So how do you see the way out in such scenario?
In such that files that Israel know that the Lebanon is the part, it's the diamond time to them to gaining from Lebanon, to get Lebanon on, reference to the war between the United States and Iran, and to taking care about Hamas and all other these unions in Lebanon, to take an action to stop them and to stop them from the growth, from the roots. I believe to didn't have any actions from Lebanon what's going on, and also to ending this file for reference to them Israel requirements, and this is not being accepted. And I believe also Europe and especially France and Turkey is playing very good actions related to that, to stopping and pushing on Israel and become also against them commercials wise and financial issue and economy related to that, to stopping and don't keeping continuing that file related to the file of Lebanon.
Yes. Sir, what should be here the role of the international organizations regarding the very dire humanitarian condition in the Palestinian territories in particular, and of course with all the obstacles that were imposed by the United States and Israel against the UNRWA?
this is, as you mentioned, this has never happened to international organization like an UNRWA. What happening to killing people from them and actions and shooting. This has never happened in international law. And the first and keeping continue in that file is only one country in the whole world. It's been Israel. This is not the international rule that we was studied. This is not the UN requirements that we was know and we was all the whole world agree about it. This is never keeping continue like that. It's time to ending these files. It's time for pushing from every part. I mean, for all the world, enough what's going on from Gaza and Lebanon, enough Israel action. It's time to stopping Israel. It's not only the accepting country through the whole world that got all the red light to go on and keep it continue. This is really refused. This is really not requirements. This is not the international law. International law, as we learn and keeping moving on it, it's the matter of peace, cooperating with the whole world, with the whole countries together as the one word. Not like that. This is not really accepted.
Yes. Sir, why is dialogue remaining very important in order to solve the crises and the conflicts in the Middle East region?
It's because it's very important place. And the Middle East, if you know, that's getting settled, stopping war, have very good places, have very good economy increasing, have very good futures-wise. So this is why that's most of the scenarios, and as you mentioned, is going to the Middle East. It's become now what's happening in the Middle East is the matter of the whole world continues, because the reference to the geography of it, the reference to all the places of the Middle East. And of course I need to appreciate the effort and of course our President Fattah Sisi and of course our Egyptian Pentagon, I will mention like that. It's what's happening. That show is you got the power, you got the authority, and always we need the peace. And the peace is a matter not just a request, not just a matter of questions or a matter of answer. It's a matter of actions, a matter of serious actions. And he very good cooperating, especially with Europe. Identify the story, identify them, let them know, and involving in what's happening in the Middle East. It's not a matter of just an area and all the world is becoming living in peace. No, it's become now a story of the whole world, starting from the Middle East, starting from get this area peace and have suitable enough to them to then defining what's happening on it.
Yes. Sir, from here, after all the conflicts that we have seen, after all the peace agreements that we have reached with Israel, yet the Israelis are violating these agreements, and we have seen continuous violation, and these violations are including attacks against civilians, against the children, against women as well. So what could be the way out here with all the contribution from the neighboring countries, from Egypt, from other states as well, in support of the people in the Palestinian territories and in Lebanon as well? So what could be the way out here in order to stop these attacks by the Israelis, and how do you see the role here of the international organizations as well, like the UN Security Council and other organizations regarding that issue?
I could believe it's very easy answer. For example, if you all requesting all the neighbors from Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Qatar and all of the neighbors and related to that area in the Middle East and Arab country, requesting directly from United States and from the UN, if that's no war is not stopping today before tomorrow, this will be some action gonna taken related to the benefits and the requirements of Arab countries and the neighbor countries. I believe that United States taking care about this point, and I believe that there was several maybe message or a clear message from several countries related to that, dedicated to those files, but it's still not taking action. But it must to keep pushing in that to take action and give them a valid date to ending this file. And I believe the United States is able to stopping Israel as maximum in a couple of days or a week to finalize all these issues.
So to what extent the situation inside of Israel is affecting and controlling the actions and the attacks and the disrespect of the agreements by the Israeli Prime Minister and his administration?
I try to keeping, I believe, sorry to saying that, to shielding them Israel people to say something that did not happen, to finalize or to cover himself. Netanyahu, I mean, that name is become now not welcome name in the whole world. It's not as before mean war man. I believe it's one of the word. He is a war man. Against humidity. It's one name only, him, and the solution to getting that, he know well that's a matter of life or death. If he stopped the war, he's becoming action related to becoming to the him life. As several requirements, we see that from Israel, inside Israel, that he was requirements in several cases internally and of course externally, and several violations from other country requires him to get him one of the attacking man related to the whole world.
Indeed, Dr. Mohamed Mokhtar Darwish, our international relations expert. Thank you so much, sir, for being our guest.
I appreciate it to join it. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. And that would bring us to the end of Inside the Middle East. Many thanks for watching.